Hey everybody, welcome to Average Guy Opinions. I'm your average guy, John Corelli. The world has lost its mind. And I'm going to address it just with some specific things that have happened recently, very recently, today, as a matter of fact. The first one was, well, where do I want to start? uh, I guess I'll start with this. It's just a saddening thing. There were a couple school shootings last week around in Aurora. Neither of them involved the school at which I work, but now over the weekend there have been threats to the school where I work, and it's a bummer. And Logan has decided he's not going to go to school on Monday and Tuesday. We have Wednesday off, and of course Thursday and Friday off for Thanksgiving. So Logan will take those 2 days off. There will be extra security at the school, but I I'm gonna be there. I'm not worried about a school shooting. Honestly, I really don't worry about that type of stuff. We do have pretty good security there. You know, who knows? People, this world, like I say, is starting to lose its mind, its collective mind, and it just makes me sad that in this I don't know, is this the greatest country in the world anymore? I don't know. Maybe like I've said this before. Maybe this just isn't our century, right? Last century was really good to the United States of America. Maybe we just need to say, hey, it's not our century. Maybe we should be okay with second place or third or 10th or even 20th and just worry about ourselves and get to a better place as a society and just start treating each other better. Stop shooting each other. Just try to get along on a basic level. Which, by the way, last night I did comedy in the Sticks. It's Trump country, and we had a great time. We made people laugh. Most of the people, we all put politics aside, and we had a lot of fun. I forgot to record it because I'm a dipshit. Although, if you go back to episode whatever, 282, I believe it is, if you go back in my episodes and really want to see another 11 minutes of me cursing too much, but telling pretty funny jokes, several of the jokes that I did that night, I did last night. So you really didn't miss much. Just different crowd laughing at different stuff. My eyebrows are crooked. I'm trying to get them straightened out. My face is crooked. That's okay. Happens. You get old. It happens. But yeah. So I'm not nervous about going into school tomorrow. I don't worry about it really, but it's just a bummer. That's something that that you have to think about. That we live in a time that you have to worry about kids bringing a gun to school and being stupid. So yeah, there's my first dose of craziness. And luckily, I'm looking forward to a long weekend. I'll be there Monday and Tuesday. I'll work with my kids, and then I'll come home for 5 days, which is great. Second crazy thing, uh, and this is just a saddening, and this is domestic terrorism. I don't care who did it. I don't care why they did it, but this is one of the worst forms of domestic terrorism in Wisconsin. I don't know what's going on in Wisconsin. Hey, I don't know if this is a reaction to the Rittenhouse verdict. I don't know. But somebody took a truck and just plowed into a parade. It was a Christmas parade and just plowed into families, men, women, and children, and killed a bunch of them. The police aren't even saying how many were killed. And it's just like, why? What goes through a person's mind to rationalize driving a truck into people? I don't understand it. And so that happened, and it's just a tragedy. And I'm not the type of person to say thoughts and prayers, but it is really sad. And what can you say at this point? If you're somewhere in your psyche is willing to rationalize thinking about killing children, because that's going to happen if you drive your truck into a crowd at a parade. You're going to kill children. You have to know that. And you're not getting yourself to a psych ward or a shrink or just turning yourself into police going, I need help, then, then you're lost. And honestly, in a person like this is where I kind of put my anti-death penalty stuff to the side, like with James Holmes, who shot 70 people and killed 12 of them at the Aurora Theater shooting back in 2012. This guy that drove this truck and killed maybe a dozen people, we don't know. It's all speculation at this point, but it looked really bad. I didn't watch the footage. I can't. But you just see the truck zooming by and you see the crowd he's about to hit. And I'm like, I can't watch it. And luckily, most news organizations seem to have taken that talk like, you don't want to see this. You're right, I don't. I just happened to see it on my news feed on my phone. I didn't want to watch it. But yeah, what's the use of keeping that guy around on the taxpayer's dime? Uh, if he's got a true mental illness, I don't know. I'm starting to get to a point where I don't like where mental illness is kind of, every guy that uses a gun and and does horrible things with it, or uses a car and does horrible. I don't buy the mental illness thing. No, you've chosen a weapon of destruction. I mean, a car can be a weapon of destruction if you choose it to be. Obviously, you've done horrible things with it. If you weren't diagnosed with anything before you pulled that trigger, all of a sudden you automatically pull a trigger and kill a bunch of people. All of a sudden you got a mental illness. You definitely got issues, but there's a difference between issues and a true, diagnosed mental illness. And you need to take care of it before you rationalize doing what you did. And so, yeah. So, and now I come to the third thing that was crazy. And I had a great day today, by the way. My mother and I went downtown. I had a wonderful lunch with her and my stepdad. And then my mom and I watched The French Dispatch, which I may give a review on. I don't know if I can really do a 10-minute review. I know I did 10 minutes about Wes Anderson a week or so ago, maybe a couple weeks ago, when I was getting psyched to see this movie. And I'm so glad I got to see it on the big screen. But, you go downtown, you might expect a little craziness. And I actually told my mom when we came out of the Mayan, which is on First and Broadway, not in the heart of downtown, but just off downtown, I remarked to her how quiet it was, and I wonder if that was a portent for things I would see later today. An email from my principal confirming these rumors that people are threatening schools on Snapchat. The news of this truck plowing into people in Wisconsin at a parade. And then finally, I went to talk about a podcast with my friends Kelly and Tom, Kelly Dietz and Tom Sturgeon. I hope you guys listen to it. It'll be fun. I don't know what we're going to call it, but right now, for now, the title is called Don't Lick That. Because we heard, we literally heard somebody say that to a kid today at the restaurant we were at. So we're like, that's a good title for a podcast. And we're probably going to base it on Colorado stories, crazy Colorado stories that people might not have heard. We might have to do some research, but Kelly has a good story. I do, Tom does, and then maybe we'll just start a conversation off of that. And the three of us have a lot of fun when we talk, and hopefully some people will want to listen to us talk. So we had gone to Chubby's to have our burritos, and we're driving back home. I drove Kelly. We carpooled because we're close to each other. Tom lives on down by Stapleton. Not Stapleton, whatever we're calling it now, because Stapleton was a Klansman, so we're not calling it Stapleton anymore. Anyway, I'm driving Kelly back. I go, hey, let's go through the old neighborhood. Let's go by this guy's house. And the guy's name was Charles Parsley. He was very gay. He was pretty darn weird. We were kids. We used to go by his house. One time I TP'd it, which is wrong. That was harassment of a gay person. I shouldn't have done it. It was wrong. But we were driving by his house to see, which one was it again? We're slowing down, and then we see a car coming up behind us. I said, we're not going to get to stop and really look at it, so let's just go. This guy proceeds to follow us. He follows us into Wheat Ridge and then into Lakeside. And then he turns off. We go down Harlan to 44th. He turns off on 44th. I go, okay, I guess that's that. And I go into the parking lot by Lakeside Mall to turn around. He comes zooming all the way over. And he ends up on the other side of a little dirt thing, so he couldn't mess with us, but he's perpendicular to us. And I shine my brights on him. I didn't say anything. I should have had Kelly call 911. And I should have yelled out the window. Because this guy's such an idiot. He is pursuing us for whatever reason. I have no idea what. We didn't do anything. This guy just decided to start following us and fucking with us. He's in a company van. So Mammoth Concrete, or excuse me, not Concrete Coating, Mammoth Coating Solutions. I have your number. I have your address. And now I have it here on public record that you harassed me approximately 8:25 on Sunday night, November 21st. So all my listeners and watchers, you got that. And also Kelly Dietz is a witness. I have filed a police report with Mountain View. And should anything stupid occur, know that you're on public record, not only here, but other places as well. So that's how I deal with the crazy, is I tell my local authorities and have them act. So there we go. There's 10 minutes of crazy for you. Next time it won't be so crazy, hopefully. Talk about comedy, talk about how I'm adopting a cat, and there you go. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.